dead centres, all of them, as we see this double top go in, perfectly in the double top, and there's 4 legs on the trot for Bates.
Yes, and his finishing has been a little short of eye-catching, 57% success rate. And if the little fella from Mid Glamorgan continues in this vein, he's going to take some stopping in this match. Could do with just upping his average another 5, maybe 8 points.
140.
And he'll be right up there in the stratosphere.
Yeah, what Bates is doing, he's getting his first dart. If it isn't in the treble, it's just above. And that's perfect for the way his darts go in the board.
140.
You see him step to the hockey here. If he misses, he'd like it just above. It's a little bit too far above, but he may have to switch.
60.
That's a 60. 80 scored.
140.
Smith refusing to be intimidated by this sustained attack from Barrie Bates.
And you require 121.
Well, he's just been on the wrong end of a 117. Now then, Rod.
Well, he went for 25. He's just going to have to set it up now.
81.
But he knows he's going to have at least 3 darts when he comes back. Bates, all he can do is just throw these for practice, really.
100.
Now then, Smith, double top.
And you require 40.
Get it back to 4 all.
Now double 10.
Game shot in the A flag. Andy Smith.
His followers in the crowd
Barrie to
pleased with that, and
on.
Smith showing that with darts like that, he is determined to get his teeth into this match. He's not going to be swept away.
140.
Despite this impressive burst, this little blast of brilliance from Bates, Smith is still very much in this match. It's intriguingly balanced.
38.
Yeah, they were unlucky darts. But it's still only a 38, where Bates now is really starting to pound the treble 20. Moved his average up to nearly 92.
125.
Well, there are the averages in our caption. You can see still clear daylight between the two players. And
100.
Bates is something like 36% better with his finishing as well. So it's a bit of a surprise, really, Rod, that we're on turns, because on the stats, it's a one-horse race.
Yeah, it certainly is. Although at 3-0 up, Andy Smith was on about a 99 average, and he's just come off what we'd call the top of his form. And this is the difference, Dave, between a real heavy score and experienced player on the stage. They seem to sustain their form for longer. And I think John Park picked that up when he was interviewed by
96.
Dave Clarkey. You know, he said, if I'm not playing brilliant, I know it's going to work, so I hang on in there. And sometimes the newcomers do panic on the stage.
Well, of course, the truly great players also
100.
have a marked change of gear and can blister you.
Shot in a 9 flag.
Bates is steady. Let's look at it again and
10
wonder
flag, Andy to throw
applaud
first.
the accuracy.
Game on.
Well, now Smith won't want to lose this and go into the break. 2 down.
60.
Still a lot of room in the treble.
140.
This session has been much more fruitful
83.
for Bates. He was 3-2 down at the 5th leg, you'll recall. He's coming back really strongly, and he would be delighted to go into the next break
97.
with a 2-legged advantage. I wouldn't care to bet on that myself. This man has a voracious appetite.
I know where my money would be, Dave.
140.
And I wouldn't want to pay for the pies afterwards either, because you wouldn't have a lot of betting money left.
There used to be a wrestler
60.
who ate 30 pies a day. And they built a pie mountain and perched them on top of it for a publicity photograph. We had some wonderful fun in those days, Rod.
78.
Well, we are athletes nowadays, Dave, so we have to look after our bodies.
100. And you require 140.
Now this is interesting from Smith, another treble here. And that has left the door ajar
85.
for Barrie Bates,
Barrie, you
104
require 104.
for 6-4, and real daylight in the scores. Oh, needed the treble to leave double 12, and Smith
56.
with 55
And you
really
require
ought
55.
to level the match. You'd be happy with that after this session. Double top, 2 darts. The target showing now double 10, and this is now getting important for the pie man.
Game shot in a 10 play.
And he knows how important Bates can manage a wry smile, but it's all square at the break. It could still go either way. We'll see.
Well, if I had to have a bet, Dave, it would be on Barrie Bates because, you know, the last 4 or 5 legs, he's really started to motor a bit. He's upped his average, where Smithy's come off the top a little bit.
43.
He's been struggling, Smithy, on that double top. He's been putting the dart low and relying on the double 10. But,
Well,
these next couple of legs are really important. You kind of feel, Dave, that the first one to break from
60.
here on in is going to win the match.
Well, it was Smith that won the opening session 3-2. Bates won that last session 3-2, and we again have come to the point in the match where you feel that
87.
one burst, one moment, one little patch of brilliance is going to prevail and carry one of these players past the winning post.
85.
Well, there's some Welsh support for Bates. Of course, the Welsh, such a hotbed of darts, really, since
60.
time began. And they've been a long time since they've had somebody to really get behind. Richie Burnett has to be said, disappointed us at PDC level. This isn't disappointing, though.
109.
Well, Smithy puts in a 180. We're not that far from Wales, so there's a good contingent here. As you said, Dave, we've had some great
96.
dart players coming in from Wales over the years. Leighton Rees and one of my favourites, Alan Evans, one of the greatest treble 20 hitters I think the game's ever had.
Yeah.
Him and Bristow used to have some great tussles.
92.
Yes, and I remember the day that Alan Evans bust a 9-dart finish. Wasn't even shown.
99.
Nations Cup match
And you
at
require
Alexandra Palace, as it
84.
happens, where we return next year nostalgically for the World Championship. Now then, which way will he go? The 11s is the shot. There it is.
73.
Well, another
Barrie,
dart
you
missed at a
require
double from Smithy.
116.
Now Barrie Bates on 16. He's going to have 2 darts at the same treble, that being treble 20. Just moved to the side, 1/4 of an inch higher than that. No, Smith is going to get 3 darts at 11.
60.
Yes,
And
he
you require
does
11.
seem to have a little bit of extra time in this last 2 or 3 legs with his finishing. Double 4 up there. 2 o'clock on the board.
Game shot in
And
the 11th play.
right,
Andy
bingo.
Smith.